Hold on.
Oh man. So
Are we on?
We're on. I think we're on. Yes. So,
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Here we're back on now. So sorry about that, guys. Turning it back over to Michael Williams.
I think we're on. Yes.
We're on.
So-
Oh, it's still happening.
Oh wait. Hang on.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. We're on. All
How
right.
do we
Let's just
survive
go.
this technology?
Oh man.
Yeah, so the craziness of live. The fact is that you have made really good use of this time. You released a new album, New Day, New World, and of course, because of the pandemic, you weren't able to tour. So you really had to repackage your mindset as to how you were going to attempt to celebrate this 40th anniversary and the new record. You did so with video. Who had the idea to do that, first of all?
Well, we were going to do a regular videos, which required us to go outside location, but then we couldn't. And I mean, it should have occurred to us that these days with stock footage and iPhones, you could do it. And that's what we did for Landing Lights and New Day, New World. And I hope people will go look at those on YouTube. One is with just us, and the other one has like up to 60 guest appearances from friends and celebrities, including some internationals like Flock Seagulls and Wang Chung, When in Rome, people like that, and yourself, of course. I mean, we already talked about that earlier. So we used what we had and made videos for them. We've done lots of things like this, Zoom interviews, performances, like on shows, acoustic performances. The one thing they need to perfect, if this should ever, God forbid, happen again, is for bands to be able to perform together live.
Mm-hmm.
On some kind of conferencing app, because you can't now. What you see when they show it on TV, it's not done live. It's
Right.
Everybody does their part individually, and then they mix it together because there's a lag. There's a problem with syncing up. So if they could perfect that, it would have made our time in isolation much easier, because we even if we could rehearse together, we can't at this point because we're out of time. Now, another thing Sandy should talk about, she did the very first in history music award show online. I mean, the Junos didn't need to be canceled, as they now admit, because she continued it with the Oshawa Music Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So originally it was supposed to be October 4th, and when they say Oshawa Music Awards, it's not just Oshawa; it's the Durham region, the whole area. The Ajax and North and Pickering and
well, mention
Trent.
all the statistics. Mention all the people that that voted. And
there was over 3,000 submissions. There was 10 categories that were given out, and 4,000 voters voting in from around the world. And in the end, they had over 32,000 live streamings from people around the world watching.
Which
so
is
they continued an award show online and spread it out over a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
And Sandy was the host, and there you go. We kept something which could have been canceled alive, and they could maybe do that next time. Well, I don't want to be a next time, so forget.
No, we don't want. But the platform, because normally at an award show, you get, they say the 3 nominees, you get a little clip of who the nominee is, and then the person is presented, whoever wins is presented with the award. They say their few little things that they say, thank you to everybody, and then that's it. But on the way they did this, they did it over 8 weeks, every Saturday at 7 p.m., and they dedicated pretty much the whole time, whether it was half an hour or an hour, to a platform for the artists, whether you were nominated or whether you won, to get on and have their video played, have their music played. So it actually reached more people than it would at a regular award show if it was just at a club. Seeing as this is like a smaller type of Juno Awards thing, it's already blossomed now. They're already talking about next year and how big they're going to make it next year. It was really successful.
I was really surprised that they didn't just automatically take the Junos online. I was kind of shocked that there was nothing. It wasn't that we'll just do a little bit. There was nothing.
Now, you'd be shocked by a lot of things, Michael.
What's that?
When we had the idea for the drive-in thing, like say over a month ago, and obviously other people also did, but we didn't hear about it. We came up with it, but other people obviously did because they had it. They've had it in Germany and Stockholm, and now in Florida, I think. So they were ahead of us with it, and we've been planning for ours for the beginning of July. We'll let you know the details. and working out all the all the specifics. I mean, it's a lot of things to consider, right? Not just social distancing, but all the red tape and the insurances and liabilities and washrooms and all kinds of interesting things. So that will hopefully turn into something which may happen even beyond this this pandemic, where people just go see a band at drive-in, or that kind of venue where you can go in the the comfort of your car. You maybe set up some lawn chairs beside if you want to. Listen to it on your beautiful stereo if you want. You don't have to have it blasting. It doesn't even have to be at a drive. It could be a field somewhere or downtown parking lot or that sort of thing. So we're working on that. We've really been brainstorming. I mean, here's a suggestion. I don't know if young bands have thought of this, who are playing at the pub level, or not quite yet, but we're all waiting, right? And I've already talked to a few pub owners. That's for friends of mine who play in duos and that sort of thing. They're talking about patios opening. People still a little worried, but hey, you've got the whole inside. You put the band, the duo, just behind the glass with the windows open. You're separate from the patio. So as those start opening up, at least that level of band or duo can be out there working, because they're inside. That they have the whole restaurant to themselves. They're not going to breathe on the patrons, that kind of thing. So we're trying at every level to be creative. And another thing we're doing, maybe you want to tell them about the 80s concert we're doing online thing that we're going to record.
Well, you're connected to it. Like I'm not sure how it all came together. I know how we're going to do it, and it's going to start tomorrow.
Yeah, like I do the Lost 80s tour with Flock of Seagulls every year, but some of the people involved with that are going to do an online version. They've got Flock of Seagulls, Wang Chung, Animotion, When in Rome, Spoons, and a couple other ones. I can't remember all the Escape Club, and where everybody's doing their own recordings at home or whatever. And we're gonna have like a big Lost 80s or like an 80s concert. And again, everybody's being creative. Some of them are just one band guy lives in England, other guy lives in California. So one guy will send his acoustic version to the guy there, and he'll add his things. Like I said, you can't do it in real time. That's a real issue, that we can't record things. So we're gonna actually try to do something in isolation but together. That's all I'll tell you. We're gonna be in the same building, but in separate rooms, and it'll be real time. It will not be separate performances, which is, again, it's a bit unique. But we have a way around that, which you'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, I thought you could use telephones. You could, it's kind of odd because there's no lag time on FaceTime, right? And then you've got Zoom.
Yeah, there is.
There is on FaceTime.
Is there a lag on FaceTime too?
Well, unless we're all on the same
Wi-Fi and have the same, everything exactly the same, you may only lose a milliseconds, but it's still not going to be exact. Trust us, we've been trying everything.
Tried everything, and I've heard a lot of musicians are having this problem because they want to rehearse, they want to learn new songs, they want to work out the band, they want to see them and stuff like that. But it really is a lot of brainstorming. And also, I would imagine talking to your fans to see what they will go with. Like we are all wondering what live music is going to look like next year. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I'm thinking maybe a lot of the outdoor festivals, which is probably the safest place to do a show, right? Outdoors, maybe didn't need to be canceled. Now that they're putting circles in public parks, they could use that same template for live concerts, like outdoor festivals. But nobody thought about this ahead of time. Everybody shut things down, scared. Now, I wonder if it's not too late to try to revive a few things as things slowly open up. If they're going to put circles in a park, you might as well set up a stage nearby and have a band.
Well, how do you find? I find that every musician is trying to keep their audience by going on their Facebook and doing the Facebook Live thing or the Instagram Live thing. Oh, look, we've got this, we've got that. Some of it's been really interesting, like Chris Burkett does a great little show. We at Isolation Island do something completely different where I'm interviewing and talking to people. But some of it is like watching paint dry. Justin Bieber in his living room. I love Justin Bieber, but it was like, there was no direction. There was no have fun. There was whatever. Hi, I'm Justin.
Well,
it almost looked like Saturday Night Live.
That's that's exactly our feeling for this thing that we're doing or shooting tomorrow for the 80s thing. We're so tired of seeing 3 faces and 3 or 4 faces and 4 boxes playing their instruments, and against the wall, and it's not the best we can do. But it was interesting when this first happened. Everybody's in the same boat, but it's time to become more creative, and we're trying something completely different yesterday, and hopefully we don't have to be creative much longer, right?
Right.
We're gonna go back to the old way of doing things. But you know what? I think some of these things and some of the thinking behind all this self-preservation thinking, it may sort of spill over into the future and gigs and whatever, and whether it's how being healthy or more germ conscious shows or concerts, or safety conscious to even how use technology. I mean, these ideas of the drive-in theater thing, which requires Wi-Fi towers, right? And I know a few people have gotten into that business now because it's such a big. I mean, drive-in theaters are going to be so busy, not just for concerts, but for bar mitzvahs and weddings and proms and whatever, because it's one of the first things to open up. And so having those Wi-Fi towers, that opens up all kinds of stuff. You could do a show downtown Toronto and have a very small PA system and not disrupt, the neighborhood or businesses. And people could dial in to the live band on their radio, certain radio frequency, or in their car, or in their office tower, or in their apartment building, and get beautiful stereo sound. And even they can transmit the visuals if you want to put it on your smart TV or your tablet. So it's kind of weird. You have a rock concert where there's not really much of the rock element left, maybe a small PA system or monitor system, and it's easy listening level, but everybody else around can tune in and blast it if they want to.
Well, they have the silent disco thing. I don't know if you know about that, where you go to a club and you put on the headphones.
Oh, yeah.
So I imagine they can do the same thing with a band and broadcast the signal online, but you plug your headphones in and get that live ambient sound. Or the band can be in one room and everybody else can be in a couple of other rooms eating or whatever, But it's just a matter of having that band in front of you, feeling that sweat hit your face, watching the hair fly and all those things that make a concert a concert. If those things aren't there, what do you think is going to happen to this?
Well, I know that some in the works is another thing where they're going to be live streaming concerts. And again, I don't think that's the same thing. I don't know if I want to see a concert series live streaming from someplace, watching it on TV. I can go on YouTube and watch a million great concerts. I can go see my favorite band, The Verve, at Glastonbury or something. But you're right that the live element you cannot take out of the formula. It's so important, in your front of you,
Yeah. I mean, for me, the first live music I saw was the Cleveland Orchestra, like outside of people singing at my home, Then the second concert I went to see was James Brown. And streaming James Brown is one thing, but being there is a whole different story. The roar of the crowd, the dancing, giving what that artist gives off the stage to you. It's like my favorite. Here's my test. There was a show done, a tribute to Michael Jackson when he was still alive with his brothers in New York, like the day before 9/11. Pull that piece of tape. If you aren't dancing and singing, you have no dancing and singing in you. Every time I see that piece of tape, I go get a glass of wine. I know the party is on, at least for me. New Year's Eve alone, I'll put that on. And it just came across the screen, but I haven't seen much come across the screen like that.
Yeah. No, you're right. There's something, and you really see when somebody's good at something to TV and produce shows on film. They kind of equalize everybody, but when you can really see in the live environment who the superstars are, who've got it, who've got that X element that, like you say, transcends everything else and hits you, right? You go home like stunned. I remember the first time I saw Scott Weiland from the SDP, one of my favorite bands from the 90s, and when I saw, I was scared of him, but I could not get that feeling out of me for like a week. I was like mentally and physically stunned, but how amazing and powerful a persona he was on stage. And And when you don't see that on film or on TV.
Yeah. Do you get that feeling when you look at Scott on video? Like when you see those?
Not so much. Not so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
that goes
such
for every era of music. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It was such a great song, Plush. I was like, dude, you know. Well, we've only got 5 minutes. Well, 4 minutes left, and it cuts
Any
off
questions at all?
automatically at 2 o'clock.
I would gladly take questions from young bands or performers.
Hang on, I got a couple of questions here. Let me go. Let me see. How does someone go about booking the Spoons? Someone wants to book you.
Well, it depends on what it's for. If it's for a concert, we go through Feldman Agency. But if you're looking to contact us to do something in a private level, you can go to our email is spoonscanada@gmail.com, or go to our website, spoonsmusic.com.
Okay. Is there a band or musician that you guys would love to collaborate with after all this is over? Or,
Well, I always thought a Metric and Spoon show concert or tour would be really cool. I like what those guys do. I like their music a lot. I mean, the other bands that I really like, but we would be compatible. I don't know. Not really. Not. I've never been a what do you call it? A collaborative kind of guy. I think if Sandy and I write something, that's good. But I think we try to keep it our own thing. You know.
right.
But there's a lot of people we admire. Absolutely. I mean, she's. You know, I'd love to get together with Richard Ashcroft, you know, if he had time, or Noel Gallagher, you know.
Hey, it used to be Oasis. Now it's Richard Ashcroft. Okay.
Yeah, no, I still love Oasis. I like their solo work. I like both of their solo stuff. So.
Here's a quick one. How did New Day, New World come together? How were you able to get all the people in the video? Was it arranged through an agency or anything like that? We've kind of answered that a little bit, but
no, it was pretty well. I mean, all the musical people I contacted directly myself because I know them. I'm like, I talk to them regularly, and they're all really love to be part of it. It was no effort at all. Some of the other people I didn't know. I mean, I know Chris Joseph because he came to a show once we did, and it turns out he's an old fan. But and Ed Basog as well, and yourself and Dave Marsden and those kind of people. There's some of the more TV people. I met Stacy from Degrassi doing a show with Richard Krause, but some of the other TV shows like Body Break and Carnival Eats and what's the other TV show, Dead Files stuff. That was through the director because he's connected in the film and TV world. Yeah, and it was all like personal.
Yeah, and people just took like a 10-second video of themselves holding their signs, making their stay at home safe. This is what I'm doing at home, thinking of you, that kind of thing. Just saying that we're all in the same boat together. And they just sent it all to Peter Sacco, and he put it all together.
Well, we got just 1 minute left, and my question is, when is there going to be a single with Sandy singing lead as a single? When is that video coming out?
Well, she has a really good song on the album, which deserves a single. It's called Paint by Number Day.
And actually,
we have a video in our minds. Don't you think, Sandy? You're going to do that one?
Yeah, I am. Actually, I was talking with Jeff about it, how we're going to put it together somehow.
Great. Yeah. All right. Well, we're just about out of here. Didn't want to cut anybody off mid-sentence. Say thank you, everybody. And you can always contact the Spoons via their website and get more information if you need or if you want. And if you want to book them, definitely Feldman is the place to be. My name is Michael Williams. Thank you very much, Mark. Thanks, you, Michael. Thank you, Gord. And the new album, of course, the latest album is called New World, New Day. And
New Day, New World, either one.
New Day, New World, New Day. New Day, New World. Okay.
New.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers. Hey, take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.